Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Most traders enter the markets with excitement, convinced that knowledge of strategies, technical indicators, or the latest economic data is all they need to succeed. Yet time after time, their results tell a different story. Some win big one day, only to lose it all the next. Others never seem to find consistency, no matter how hard they study. The real problem is not the market itself, it's the trader's own mind. This is the central truth behind Trading in the Zone, a book that has become a cornerstone in trading psychology. Mark Douglas, a seasoned trading coach with years of experience guiding both individual traders and financial institutions, earned his reputation by cutting through the noise of technical systems and strategies. He focuses instead on the inner game, the psychology that separates amateurs from professionals. Having witnessed countless traders sabotage their own success through fear, greed, or hesitation, Douglas shows why mindset, not method, determines whether you consistently profit or struggle. In this summary, you will gain more than just an overview of trading concepts. You will uncover why certainty is an illusion, why probabilities are your greatest ally, and how to break free from the emotional traps that cause losses. You will learn the discipline required to think like a consistent winner, to trust your system, and to detach your emotions from individual trades. By the end of this journey, you will understand what it means to trade in the zone, a state of calm confidence where discipline, patience, and probability thinking guide every decision. Trading in the Zone is not just a book about trading, it is a manual for mastering yourself in an unpredictable environment. Introduction: Why psychology matters more than strategy in trading. Every day, countless traders step into the markets armed with strategies, indicators, and systems they believe will give them an edge. They study charts, master technical tools, and follow market news with intense focus. Yet despite all this preparation, most traders fail to achieve lasting success. The reason is simple but often overlooked: trading is not won by strategy alone, it is won in the mind. Psychology matters more than any system, because no matter how powerful a method may be, it cannot protect you from your own fear, greed, or hesitation. Consider this truth: two traders can use the exact same strategy, yet achieve completely different results. One executes calmly, sticks to the plan, and manages risk with discipline. The other second-guesses, hesitates, or abandons the plan at the first sign of uncertainty. The difference between them is not knowledge, it is mindset. Trading magnifies human emotion, turning impatience, self-doubt, and the desire to be right into costly mistakes. This is why Mark Douglas argues that consistent success in trading begins not with finding the perfect system, but with mastering your psychology. Markets are uncertain by nature. They will never provide certainty or guarantee. The only thing a trader can truly control is themselves, their beliefs, behaviors, and emotional responses to wins and losses. By focusing on psychology over strategy, traders learn to think in probabilities rather than absolutes. They learn to detach from individual outcomes and build confidence in their process instead of chasing results. This shift transforms trading from a roller coaster of highs and lows into a disciplined practice of consistency. The real edge in the market is not a secret formula. It is the ability to stay calm, disciplined, and focused when others lose control. Part 1: The Road to Success: Fundamental Truths About Trading. Trading is often imagined as a quest for the perfect strategy, a hidden formula that guarantees profits. Yet, as countless traders discover, the path to lasting success has less to do with technical systems and more to do with mastering the mental environment in which decisions are made. The first step on this road to success is understanding the fundamental truths about trading, truths that are simple in theory but difficult to accept emotionally. The most important of these truths is that trading is a game of probabilities. Every trade carries uncertainty. No pattern, no analysis, and no strategy can promise certainty. Each trade is just one outcome in a larger series, and the edge comes not from predicting every result, but from thinking in terms of probabilities. Successful traders detach from the need to be right on each individual trade and instead focus on being profitable across many trades. This leads to the second truth: losses are unavoidable. Many traders struggle because they take losses personally, interpreting them as failure or as evidence that something is wrong with their system. In reality, losses are simply part of the business. Just as a shopkeeper accepts overhead costs, or a farmer accepts that not every crop will survive, traders must accept that some trades will not work. The difference is that professionals prepare for losses in advance and manage their risks so that no single loss can threaten their long-term success. Another fundamental truth is that the market does not owe anyone anything. The market is not a teacher, a parent, or a guide. It is an ever-changing environment shaped by the actions of countless participants. It does not reward effort or punish laziness. It simply moves. Traders must adapt themselves to the market rather than expecting the market to adapt to them. Equally important is the recognition that emotions are the greatest barrier to consistency. Fear, greed, overconfidence, and hesitation distort perception and interfere with execution. A trader may know what to do but fail to act when fear of loss overwhelms logic. Or they may break discipline after a string of wins, believing they are invincible. The markets test not only strategies but also a trader's emotional resilience. Finally, successful trading is not about intensity but consistency. It is built on routine, discipline, and patience rather than dramatic wins. The traders who last are those who approach the craft like professionals, treating each decision as part of a larger, long-term process. They develop trust in their system, trust in themselves, and the humility to accept that no one trade defines them. These truths form the foundation of all trading psychology. Once accepted, they free the trader from illusions and open the door to genuine consistency. The road to success begins not with finding something new, but with truly embracing what the market already demands: discipline, patience, and the ability to think in probabilities. Part 2: Breaking down mental barriers. One of the greatest obstacles traders face is not the market itself, but the limitations of their own minds. The human brain is wired to seek certainty, avoid pain, and preserve comfort. In trading, these instincts create barriers that sabotage performance. Breaking down these mental walls is essential for achieving consistency. The first barrier is the need to be right. From childhood, people are rewarded for correct answers and punished for mistakes. This conditioning carries into trading, where many equate losing a trade with personal failure. The result is emotional resistance to losses. A trader might refuse to close a losing position, hoping it will turn around, just to avoid admitting they were wrong. True progress begins when a trader lets go of the need for certainty and accepts that being wrong is part of the process. Success is measured not by individual outcomes but by following a plan with discipline. Another barrier is fear, particularly fear of loss. Fear clouds judgment, leading traders to exit too early, miss opportunities, or freeze when action is needed. This fear comes from attaching too much meaning to a single trade. When traders risk more than they can emotionally handle, the fear intensifies. Breaking down this barrier requires proper position sizing and risk management, so that no single trade carries overwhelming weight. By reducing risk to a tolerable level, fear diminishes and clarity returns. Greed is a barrier of a different kind. After a string of wins, some traders abandon discipline, chasing larger profits with oversized positions or impulsive trades. This behavior is rooted in the desire for more and the illusion of control. The way forward is cultivating patience and remembering that consistency over time matters more than occasional large gains. The barrier of attachment is equally destructive. Traders often project their hopes and expectations onto the market, believing it will reward effort or align with personal predictions. This attachment leads to frustration when reality does not cooperate. The truth is the market is neutral. It has no concern for individual traders. To overcome this, one must approach each trade with detachment, focusing only on executing the process rather than forcing outcomes. Another subtle barrier is self-doubt. After setbacks, traders may question their ability or believe they lack what it takes. This mindset feeds hesitation, causing missed opportunities and reinforcing a cycle of frustration. Breaking through requires cultivating confidence, not through blind optimism but through repeated practice, review, and learning. Confidence comes from mastering the process, not from avoiding mistakes. Ultimately, breaking down mental barriers is about reshaping one's relationship with the market and with oneself. It means shifting from needing control to embracing uncertainty, from fearing losses to accepting them as part of the business, and from attaching self-worth to outcomes to defining success by discipline. When these barriers fall, trading transforms. Decisions become clearer, emotions lose their grip, and consistency becomes possible. The trader steps into a mindset of freedom, no longer enslaved by fear or ego, but grounded in discipline and probability. Part 3. The mindset of consistency. Consistency in trading is not about making every trade profitable. It is about creating stability in how you think, decide, and act. To achieve this, a trader must develop a mindset that treats the market as a field of probabilities rather than certainties. The consistent trader does not try to predict the future with absolute confidence but operates with the understanding that anything can happen, and yet, within that uncertainty, edges exist that can be exploited. The first pillar of consistency is thinking in probabilities. Every trade has a random outcome, but across many trades, patterns emerge. Just as a casino thrives not by winning every hand of cards but by ensuring the odds favor them in the long run, so too must the trader approach the market. Each trade is one event in a larger series, and no single outcome should define success or failure. Consistency is built on repeating actions that align with an edge, regardless of short-term results. The second pillar is discipline. A trading plan, built on research, testing, and risk management, only holds value if it is followed. Emotional impulses, such as fear of missing out or the urge to chase losses, destroy consistency. Discipline means sticking to predefined rules even when emotions scream otherwise. It is choosing process over impulse, system over ego. The third pillar is emotional neutrality. Consistent traders learn to view wins and losses with the same calm detachment. A win does not inflate the ego, and a loss does not shatter confidence. Both are simply data points within the larger game of probabilities. This neutrality prevents overconfidence after success and paralysis after setbacks, allowing steady execution. Risk management is another cornerstone. Consistency thrives when no single trade has the power to break a trader emotionally or financially. By keeping risk small and manageable, traders create an environment where they can think clearly and avoid panic-driven decisions. Consistency is not possible if one trade holds too much weight. Finally, consistency is a product of self-trust. Traders must trust themselves to follow their rules, to act without hesitation, and to remain disciplined under pressure. This trust is built slowly, through repetition and reflection. Each time a trader executes according to plan, regardless of outcome, they reinforce confidence in their ability to act with consistency. The mindset of consistency is not about perfection, it is about reliability. It is understanding that the goal is not to win every trade but to execute with discipline and repeatability. Over time, this produces the stability and growth that define successful traders. When consistency becomes a habit, trading shifts from chaos to order. The market may remain unpredictable, but the trader no longer is. By thinking in probabilities, acting with discipline, and managing emotions, the trader creates the conditions for lasting success. Part 4. Belief systems and mental frameworks. Every trader steps into the market carrying a set of beliefs, often without realizing it. These beliefs act like lenses, shaping how they see the market, interpret information, and make decisions. Some of these beliefs are empowering, fueling confidence and discipline, while others are limiting, creating fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. To master trading, one must first master the internal belief systems that drive behavior. At the core is the belief about control. Many traders enter the market assuming they can influence outcomes through effort, intelligence, or willpower. But the market operates independently, governed by countless forces beyond anyone's reach. Clinging to the illusion of control breeds frustration and rash decisions. Empowering traders accept that they cannot control the market. They can only control their preparation, risk, and actions. This shift in belief liberates them from the need to be right and places focus on what truly matters: execution. Another belief that shapes outcomes is the meaning attached to losses. For some, a loss feels like personal failure, evidence of inadequacy. This belief triggers defensive reactions, avoiding trades, holding losers too long, or abandoning strategies altogether. Successful traders reframe losses as the cost of doing business, as information rather than condemnation. With this belief, losses become stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. Beliefs about money also play a powerful role. Traders who see money as scarce may hesitate to risk it, missing opportunities out of fear. Others may view money as validation, tying self-worth to wins and losses, which amplifies emotional swings. A healthier belief is seeing money as a tool, something neutral, to be managed with discipline rather than emotional attachment. Mental frameworks extend these beliefs into structured ways of thinking. For example, some traders adopt a scarcity framework, believing opportunities are rare and must be chased. This mindset leads to impulsive entries and overtrading. Others cultivate an abundance framework, trusting that the market always offers another opportunity. This mindset fosters patience, selectivity, and resilience. The framework for handling uncertainty is equally critical. Traders who see uncertainty as dangerous will constantly fight it, seeking impossible certainty through endless analysis. This leads to paralysis and hesitation. Those who believe uncertainty is the natural state of the market learn to embrace it, using probabilities to guide action without needing guarantees. This framework reduces fear and allows consistent execution. Ultimately, beliefs and mental frameworks act like invisible hands steering a trader's actions. They determine whether fear dominates or discipline prevails, whether losses paralyze or educate, whether trading feels like chaos or opportunity. The empowering path is to examine and reshape these beliefs consciously, replacing limiting stories with frameworks rooted in acceptance, discipline, and growth. When beliefs align with reality, trading becomes less about fighting the market and more about flowing with it. The external outcomes may still vary, but internally, the trader achieves clarity and balance. And in that space, consistency and long-term success can take root. Part 5. The Zone Mindset. Trading. In the zone is the state where action flows naturally, free from hesitation, fear, or overthinking. It is not about predicting the market perfectly or being right all the time. Instead, it is about being so aligned with the flow of the market, and so confident in your process, that decisions are made with clarity and ease. In this state, the trader is fully present, unburdened by past mistakes or future anxieties, and focused only on executing the plan. The zone mindset begins with acceptance. The trader no longer resists uncertainty but embraces it as part of the environment. They understand that every outcome is uncertain, yet every trade has potential within a probability framework. This removes the emotional tug of needing the market to do something specific. Instead of hoping or fearing, the trader simply acts on their edge and lets the results unfold. Another characteristic of the zone is detachment from outcomes. Wins and losses are not taken personally. They are seen as natural byproducts of probabilities playing out. This detachment does not mean indifference. It means the trader is no longer emotionally controlled by outcomes. A loss is not a failure, and a win is not a triumph of ego. Both are simply steps in the larger process. This mindset frees mental energy and allows consistent focus on execution. Focus itself is central to being in the zone. The trader is not distracted by external noise, nor by the chatter of internal doubts. Attention is fully anchored in the present moment. The chart, the setup, the plan, nothing else exists in that instant. This deep concentration allows for quicker recognition of opportunities and cleaner responses to changing conditions. Confidence also defines the zone. This is not blind confidence but one grounded in preparation, practice, and trust in the process. When traders have done the work, tested strategies, defined risk, and rehearsed execution, they step into the market with assurance. In the zone, confidence silences hesitation and fuels decisive action. Finally, trading in the zone feels effortless. Not because it is easy, but because there is no internal resistance. The mind is not battling fear, ego, or second-guessing. Every part of the trader is aligned with the task at hand. This harmony between preparation, mindset, and action creates flow, where performance reaches its highest level. The zone is not a mystical state reserved for a few, it is the result of mental conditioning and consistent practice. By releasing the need to control outcomes, detaching from results, and staying anchored in the present, any trader can access this state. And when they do, trading transforms from a struggle into a fluid, confident expression of skill. Part 6. Developing a probabilistic mindset. At the heart of successful trading lies the ability to think in probabilities. Most people approach the market expecting certainty. They want to know if the price will rise or fall, if a trade will win or lose. This craving for certainty is natural, but in trading, it becomes a trap. The truth is that no single trade can ever be predicted with absolute accuracy. Markets are too complex, influenced by countless factors beyond anyone's control. The probabilistic mindset accepts this reality and uses it as a foundation for freedom. When traders think probabilistically, they no longer tie their identity or emotions to the outcome of one trade. A losing trade is not a disaster, just one event in a series. A winning trade is not proof of brilliance, just another point in the distribution. This detachment reduces the weight of fear and expectation. The focus shifts from being right on every trade to executing consistently over many trades, trusting that the edge will play out across time. Fear often arises because traders overvalue the significance of a single trade. They risk too much, hope too strongly, or attach too much meaning to being correct. When the mind is gripped by fear, decisions become distorted. Traders exit early, hesitate to enter, or hold losers too long. A probabilistic mindset dissolves this fear by placing trades in their proper context. Each one is just a roll of the dice, an expression of probabilities, and no single outcome determines success. Expectations are another stumbling block. Traders often impose rigid demands on the market. This trade must win. Or, the market should behave this way. When reality doesn't align with these expectations, frustration and emotional reactions follow. The probabilistic trader replaces expectations with flexibility. They accept that anything can happen, but remain prepared to act within defined rules. This balance of openness and structure allows for calm adaptability. Cultivating this mindset requires both mental and practical steps. Mentally, traders must rehearse the truth. Every trade is uncertain, losses are inevitable, and the goal is consistency over time. Practically, they must manage risk so that no trade threatens their account or emotional stability. When risk per trade is small and acceptable, fear loses its grip, and detachment becomes possible. The reward for developing a probabilistic mindset is liberation. Instead of being trapped by fear, driven by hope, or chained to expectations, traders operate with clarity and calm. They no longer battle the market, but flow with it, taking trades as opportunities within a larger game. In the end, trading is not about predicting the future with certainty. It is about positioning oneself so that, over many trades, probabilities work in your favor. By detaching from fear and unrealistic expectations, traders step into a mindset that allows consistency, confidence, and ultimately success. Part 7. Risk and Self-Trust. Trading success is built on two inseparable pillars: how risk is managed and how much a trader trusts themselves to act with discipline. Without these, even the best strategy collapses. With them, confidence grows, fear diminishes, and consistency becomes possible. Risk management begins with the simple truth: no one knows what any single trade will bring. Because outcomes are uncertain, traders must control what they can, how much they are willing to risk. Successful traders never expose themselves to losses that could cripple their accounts or their emotions. They size positions modestly, accept losses as part of the process, and ensure that no trade carries the power to destroy months of progress. This disciplined approach creates a safety net, allowing traders to operate with a calm mind. Proper risk management is not just about avoiding disaster, it is about preserving mental clarity. When too much is risked on one trade, fear becomes overwhelming. Every tick against the position feels catastrophic, and emotions take control. By keeping risk small and predetermined, traders protect their ability to think rationally. They can make decisions without panic or desperation, because the worst-case scenario is always manageable. From this foundation of safety, self-trust can develop. Trusting oneself in trading means having confidence that you will follow your rules, execute your plan, and act decisively even under pressure. Many traders fail not because their strategies are flawed, but because they hesitate, second-guess, or abandon discipline in the heat of the moment. Building self-trust requires repetition, taking trade after trade according to plan, regardless of outcome. Each time a trader proves to themselves that they can act with discipline, confidence grows stronger. A crucial part of self-trust is accepting responsibility. Traders who blame the market, the news, or external forces avoid accountability. But when traders accept that they alone are responsible for managing risk and executing their plan, they reclaim control over their results. This ownership fuels confidence because the trader understands that success is not left to chance but shaped by their own actions. Risk management and self-trust reinforce each other. Managing risk effectively creates an environment where emotions are stable, making it easier to follow the plan. Following the plan consistently, in turn, strengthens self-trust, which fuels even greater discipline. Together, they form a cycle of growth that builds resilience and long-term success. Confidence in trading does not come from avoiding losses, it comes from knowing that losses will never threaten your survival. It comes from trusting that you will act according to your edge, again and again, until probabilities work in your favor. When traders build this confidence, fear fades, hesitation disappears, and the door to consistent profitability opens wide. In the end, mastering risk and self-trust is what transforms trading from a fragile gamble into a structured business. With risk contained and trust established, the trader moves forward with clarity, resilience, and the calm assurance that they can navigate whatever the market brings. Part 8. The Discipline of Execution, Building Habits that Align with Success. In trading, knowledge and strategy are meaningless without execution. Mark Douglas emphasizes that the true gap between successful and struggling traders lies not in what they know, but in whether they can consistently act on it. Execution is the bridge between intention and outcome, and discipline is the foundation that holds that bridge in place. Many traders fail not because they lack a good system, but because they fail to follow it. The temptation to deviate, driven by fear, greed, or impatience, leads them to override their own rules. This inconsistency erodes confidence and creates a cycle of emotional trading. Douglas argues that trading success requires building habits of execution that operate independently of emotions. The disciplined trader understands that each trade is just one event in a long series. They execute their plan without hesitation, knowing that the outcome of any single trade is irrelevant compared to the probabilities across many trades. Discipline transforms trading into a process of repetition and consistency, not emotional reaction. Douglas stresses the importance of treating trading like a business rather than a gamble. Just as a business operates with procedures, budgets, and risk controls, a trader must operate with rules for entries, exits, and position sizing. Following these rules faithfully, even when tempted to do otherwise, establishes the mental framework of professionalism. Habits are formed through repetition. By practicing disciplined execution day after day, traders rewire their minds to act with consistency. Over time, this builds trust in oneself, reduces hesitation, and creates an almost automatic flow in decision-making. In the end, trading discipline is not about perfection, but about reliability. The disciplined trader does not aim to eliminate mistakes, but to minimize them and remain consistent enough to let probabilities play out in their favor. Part 9. Common Psychological Pitfalls. Even with knowledge and experience, many traders fall into predictable traps that sabotage their performance. Mark Douglas highlights 3 of the most destructive: overtrading, revenge trading, and hesitation. Each stems from a flawed relationship with risk and emotions, and each can erode a trader's account and confidence if not addressed. Overtrading often comes from the need for constant action. Some traders believe the more trades they take, the higher their chances of success. In reality, overtrading reflects impatience and a lack of discipline. Instead of waiting for high-probability setups, the trader forces opportunities, draining both emotional and financial capital. It is not the number of trades that creates success but the quality of those aligned with a plan. Revenge trading emerges after a loss. The trader, unable to accept the setback, feels compelled to win the money back immediately. This emotional reaction turns trading into a battle with the market, leading to impulsive decisions. Instead of trading probabilities, the trader is fueled by frustration, usually resulting in deeper losses. Douglas stresses that revenge trading is the exact opposite of professional behavior. It's the market controlling the trader, not the other way around. Hesitation, on the other hand, happens when fear takes over. The trader sees a valid setup but delays entry, waiting for extra confirmation. By the time they act, the opportunity has passed or the risk-to-reward balance has shifted. Hesitation signals a lack of trust in oneself and the system, and it often grows from inconsistent habits in the past. Each of these pitfalls reflects a mindset issue rather than a technical one. The antidote lies in self-awareness, discipline, and commitment to a structured plan. By recognizing these traps early and staying aligned with rules, traders can avoid emotional decision-making and keep their edge intact. Part 10. Final Lessons. At the heart of trading in the zone lies one simple truth: success in trading is less about strategies or market predictions and more about mastering one's mind. The final lesson is that to become a consistently profitable trader, one must transform trading from an emotional struggle into a disciplined process. Consistency comes from adopting the mindset of a professional. Unlike amateurs, professionals don't see trading as a gamble or a fight against the market. They see it as a game of probabilities, where each trade is just one outcome in a long series. They accept losses without judgment, knowing that even the best setups will not always work. What matters is following their plan faithfully, because over time, adherence to structure and discipline produces reliable results. A consistently profitable trader also develops emotional neutrality. Fear and greed, two forces that dominate most traders, lose their power when a trader truly accepts risk. Every trade becomes just another opportunity, not a threat to one's identity or security. By releasing the need to control outcomes, the trader gains clarity and focus, able to execute without hesitation or impulsiveness. Douglas emphasizes that trading success is built on habits. Small, repeatable actions, like recording trades, reviewing performance, and honoring stop losses, compound into long-term consistency. The market rewards preparation and patience, not impulsivity. Success is not about winning big on a few trades but about compounding discipline across hundreds of trades. Finally, the journey is internal. Becoming a consistently profitable trader is not about conquering the market but about conquering oneself. When a trader masters their beliefs, emotions, and actions, they unlock the freedom to trade in alignment with probability rather than fear. At this point, they are not just trading for profits, they are trading in the zone, where clarity, discipline, and consistency merge into lasting success. Conclusion. Trading is often seen as a battle against the market, but the truth is far deeper. The real battle is within. The market doesn't care who you are, how much you know, or how badly you want to win. It only reflects probabilities, and it rewards those who are disciplined enough to align with them. What separates the consistently profitable trader from the struggling one is not luck, not secret strategies, but mindset. When you master your psychology, you gain freedom from fear and greed. You no longer chase trades or run from losses, you simply act with clarity, executing your plan without hesitation. This is what it means to trade in the zone. It is a state where consistency becomes natural, because you are no longer fighting yourself. Every trader has the potential to reach this level. The tools are not outside but within: belief systems, emotional control, and discipline. By committing to growth, embracing risk, and building habits that serve you, you step into the path of lasting success. Your greatest edge is not the market, it is your mindset. Master it, and you won't just trade better, you'll transform yourself into the trader you were always meant to be. If you are serious about transforming your trading journey, now is the time to act. Don't just absorb these ideas, apply them. Revisit the principles of mindset, discipline, and probability until they become second nature. Commit to journaling your trades, reflecting on your beliefs, and holding yourself accountable to your plan. Every small step compounds into mastery. Subscribe to this channel for more powerful audiobook-style summaries that will sharpen your financial mindset and give you the edge you need in trading and beyond. Share this video with fellow traders who are struggling, because sometimes the missing piece isn't a strategy, it's a shift in perspective. Most importantly, make the decision today to stop letting fear, doubt, and inconsistency control your results. Replace them with clarity, confidence, and discipline. The market will always present opportunities. The question is, will you be ready to step into the zone when they come? Your future as a consistently profitable trader begins with the choices you make right now. Start thinking, acting, and trading like the professional you aspire to become.